Critter Protectors, Mr. Jim here, and welcome to Kids Animal Stories, a place where there's always a mystery and adventure around every single corner. If you love critters of all shapes and sizes, I need you on our Critter Protector team. Join our adventure as we learn about critters from around the world and in our backyards. Well, my friends, are you ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! On the last episode, we met our mystery critter, Eddie, who lives in a pond and swimming around. He's nocturnal, he's got whiskers, and he just met a new friend named Jimmy, who's helping him find a dark place so that he can sleep and not be so grouchy. Eddie was very tired and was even wondering if maybe this would turn him into not nocturnal anymore, and oh dear, it was very complicated. But just as he was losing hope, Jimmy brought him to this cave, a very dark cave.
Will this work for you, Eddie?
Jimmy said with a proud smile. It does look dark and quiet. He was a little hesitant, but decided to swim towards the opening. Just as he entered the rocky opening, he looked and heard that growl. The growl stopped him in his tracks and he was frozen. Eddie knew he didn't have a lot of predators, but still he had to be careful.
Eddie? What was that?
Jimmy whispered. Jimmy the little fish was now shaking. Jimmy was only a third of Eddie's size, so he had to be much more careful about predators than Eddie was. "Who are you?" called out Eddie. The growl became silent, almost like it was just in their imaginations. Then, out of the darkest corner in the cave, appeared a humongous eel. Dun dun dun! Eddie had never seen an eel before. It was such a strange looking critter, almost like a snake that swam underwater. "What are you doing in my cave?" hissed the eel. He was obviously in no mood to play. "I'm just trying to find a dark place to sleep." The eel looked at Eddie. "Why are you trying to sleep during the day? Are you nocturnal like me?" he asked. "Yes, I am, and I'm desperately just want to go to sleep." The eel thought for a moment. The cave was pretty big. It was so big that you could even get lost inside. Maybe he could just share the cave with Eddie so they could both get some sleep? "All right. Come on in. The cave is big enough for the both of us," said the eel as he moved over. Eddie was very surprised. He was expecting maybe even a fight from such an angry-looking critter. But then again, Eddie was much too big for the eel to actually even eat. Eddie started swimming deeper into the cave, but then remembered. "Jimmy! Jimmy! Where are you?" He called back to the entrance. He turned around and saw Jimmy a few feet away. He was still frozen and shaking. "Oh, Jimmy, it's okay. The eel wants nothing to do with us. I'll be okay in here. Thank you for your help."
Oh, wow. And that's a relief. I was happy to help. Well, at least I was too scared to move.
Jimmy laughed a little bit at himself for being so frozen in fear.
"Well, I'll see you around, Eddie,"
said Jimmy as he swam away. Eddie turned towards the eel and started back towards the deep darkness ahead. "Now, don't swim too far into the cave. It's very deep, and you can get lost in there," said the eel. "Thanks for the advice," Eddie called back. Eddie was just so tired that he just wanted to get some sleep. He swam a little bit further until he came to a split in the tunnel. I wonder where this goes. Maybe it will even be darker this way. The darker it is, the better. Wait a second, Eddie. Oh, that eel said it's really easy to get lost. I don't know if you should keep going in this cave. Do you think Eddie should keep swimming further and further into this cave? Well, he did. Until he found a nice, dark, cozy spot. He lay down on the ground of the cave and quickly fell asleep. Wait a second. Hold on, have you figured out what kind of critter that Eddie is? Let's look over the clues. He has whiskers. I'm never gonna forget that. He's got whiskers. And, swims, likes the darkness. Oh, I know. It's a mouse. Yes, mice love dark places and they have whiskers and, I don't think they can live underwater. I don't think mice, no, that's not right. Oh, what did you say? I know, you keep saying the same thing. It's not a cat. Cats don't like what? Oh, yeah, they don't like water, but a catfish? I think you're right. Yes, catfish have whiskers to feel around. They like the dark places and they swim in the water. Nailed it. Yes, Eddie is a channel catfish. Great job, but wait a second. Oh dear, he's starting to wake up. Let's see what happens next. Hours later, Eddie woke up with a gasp. He had forgotten where he was, and it was very dark around him. Oh no, it must be night by now, said Eddie as he started to swim, but as he swam, he suddenly swam right into a squishy part of the cave wall. Where am I? Asked Eddie. He was so confused and didn't know which way to swim. Eddie turned around and started to swim in the other direction. He went through a tunnel, but it didn't seem to get him anywhere. It was still so dark and he couldn't see very well. Oh, he started to use his whiskers to smell where to go, but he couldn't smell anything that could help him. Wow, that's pretty cool how they can use their whiskers to smell. Eddie quickly realized he was lost. Help! Somewhere, Eddie had gotten turned around in the tunnels in the cave. He should have listened to that eel before going so deep. Have you ever been told to do something and you didn't do it? Oh, did you learn a lesson? I think Eddie is in the middle of a lesson. But hopefully, he's able to get out of this cave. As Eddie started to turn around again, he suddenly heard the eel. You should have listened, called out the eel. Mr. Eel, is that you? Yes, I should have listened. Sorry, but I'm lost, called Eddie. The eel was too far away for Eddie to smell him. He didn't know which way to go. Follow my voice until you can find your way back, called out the eel. Thankfully, Eddie, the catfish, had a great sense of hearing. The eel kept talking, and Eddie kept swimming through the tunnels until he found the eel at the opening. I told you so. I know, I'm sorry, I should have listened to you, said Eddie. There's enough room in the front of the cave for both of us. Just keep to yourself. I've had enough excitement for the day. Thanks for your help, and yeah, I promise I won't be a bother, said Eddie. Eddie's day had brought him enough excitement for a while. He was relieved to have a new dark place to sleep, and he was glad he lived in such a helpful pond. The end. Great job, you listened all the way to the end, and it's time for some Critter Protector shoutouts. I want to say hey to Owen from California, Max from Illinois, Adelie from British Columbia, Natalie from California, Nola from Maine, Alexis from New Zealand, and Tasia and Richie from Florida. I'm so glad that you're all critter protectors. We could not protect all the critters in the world without you, my friends. Well, you have a super duper day, and I'll see you on our next adventure. Bye!